Hi music lovers, Cat with Hats here together with Chick Webb's namesake, Brad Webb.
Indeed.
You are into jazz as well, but I have to admit I've never heard you play live.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched, of course, some videos online, and today will be a reality check, I guess.
Sure.
If I get in tonight, I don't know yet.
Yeah, we might have you thrown out.
So you grew up playing jazz, also in Britain's National Youth Jazz Orchestra.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's true.
And you were Vic Firth's youngest endorsee.
Yeah, maybe that is true.
I don't know when it was.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You grow older too.
Yeah.
But how old were you then?
I guess I was about 10.
10.
10 or 11, I think.
Wow. Okay. Wow. How did they find out about you?
I think it was as much that Vic. I happened to meet Vic Firth at I think it was a NAMM show or something like that. And my dad took me to the NAMM show, and I met Vic, and he was such a nice man. And he actually said, if you're ever in Boston, come to the factory. And I went to the factory, and I didn't expect him to be there, but he was there, and he bought breakfast, and we sat in his office, had breakfast, and then he was just such a nice guy. In the end, he took me around the factory with a bag and said, take what you want. It was like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Uh-huh.
And I think in the end he was just like, if you want more help, then. And then I guess in a way I was an endorsee, but yeah, I was just a friend of him, I guess.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Good to have that friend.
Yeah, very useful friend. Yeah.
Brad's credit list is diverse. Played with Amy Winehouse, the Blue Man Group, both as performer and teacher. Tim Minchin, to mention some people. For Jamie Cullum, he still sits in the drum throne, and of course he will also do so tonight. Before we talk about life as a musician in London and this Jamie Cullum gig and your musical journey, watch a quick profile and get to know Brad better.
My name's Brad Webb. I'm 30 years old. I was born in Sevenoaks in Kent, and now I live in London. Currently play with Jamie Cullum and Paolo Nutini and a bunch of other stuff. I'm endorsed by DW drums, Sabian cymbals, Remo heads, Vic Firth sticks. I think that's it. First drummer I knew by name was Buddy Rich. My dad is a drummer, and he sort of played semi-professionally. And when I was growing up, he had old Ludwig 1968 Blue Oyster Pearl drum set up at home. And at first I used to go in and play along while he was playing on whatever I could find. And then I learnt how to put CDs on, and I just go in and play on my own. And so he encouraged me. I think I was about 2.5, something like that. Both, really. I started off, as I say, like just listening to records and playing along and seeing what I could mimic, and then when I was about 9, I had started having lessons. No, I didn't have a plan B. I mean, there are lots of other stuff I'm interested in, but I think I was only ever going to play drums. First record I bought, I think it was Midnight Marauders by Tribe Called Quest. The most recent record I bought was by an electronic duo called Weevil. Loads of stuff, really. Doesn't have to be drums or drummers. As I say, like, I was listening to a lot of electronic stuff recently, and some of the stuff people are programming these days, they're not even drummers, but it's amazing. So could be that, or it could be a video of a drummer playing something cool. Well, in terms of drummers, there's a guy in America who he might be known amongst drummers and fans of his band, but there's a guy called Darren King. He plays with Mutemath, and I saw him play at Fuji Rock a few years ago, and he is unbelievable. If you can check him out live, he's so inspiring. And then other music to check out, I mean, stuff that I listened to when I was growing up. Big Swing Face, probably the greatest big band record ever made. I could go on for hours. My strength on the drums, I guess I'm versatile. I've always loved loads of different styles of music, so yeah, being able to play a lot of different styles of music. It sounds a little bit hippie, but maybe just thinking about relaxing and being able to be totally relaxed when you're playing, and in the way that you would be if you were in a room on your own playing. I think if people were really honest, a lot of the time when they're performing, they're thinking. And yeah, so that I read a book called The Inner Game of Music, there's a book called The Inner Game of Tennis, which was all about relaxing under pressure or when you're performing, and then they wrote a music version, and it's really cool, really good book for that. Don't Stop the Music is a fun one to play with Jamie, because I played on the recording, and yeah, I guess it's a special tune. My sofa. Yeah, I really like sport. Watching sport. My girlfriend's always laughing at me because I spend more time looking at things about Formula One and rugby. So yeah, and tennis. I like playing tennis. I used to have like goals and dreams, but I think just trying to enjoy what I'm doing at the moment is more important to me. Life motto? I don't really, but I guess if I was going to make one up, it would probably be enjoying what's happening now. Yeah, I think it's fair to say I used to have a blog. No, I used to write one for Jamie's site, because we were on tour a lot then, and I stopped writing it because we stopped touring for a while. But I have thought maybe I should start again if people are noticing that I've stopped. Well, I mean, it depends what you want to do, really. there's tons of stuff you can do with playing an instrument. I'm sometimes on tour, but other times I'm at home for long periods of time as well, and I write music, write songs and music for commercial stuff with my friend Chris. I have a project, a band as well called Archbirds. So it's more important to just stay busy and sort of industrious rather than having to be on tour all the time. I don't know really if there's a scene in London. I mean, obviously there's tons of musicians, but really just kind of. I moved to London when I was 19, and I started playing with Blue Man Group, and but I also had friends that I'd been playing with in London before I moved to London. And yeah, just get to know people and find out who you get on well with, really, and go from there. It's I think if you think about it too much, it's not a very natural way to make music if everything's about like creating opportunities. So yeah, I just got to know tons of people, and still meeting people now that live in London, and I really like their playing and stuff, but I never played with them before, you know. So sometimes it's a gig somewhere, or but also just friends recommend me for something, and I'll meet new people then, and you get on well with people. Or, but I think, you know, I don't go to a lot of jam sessions anymore, and I didn't go to college, which was maybe made it a little more difficult for me to meet people. But you don't have to be playing music to meet musicians. You know, go and have a beer with people and see who you get on with. I think it's just as important. So I when I was about 13, I started having lessons with a guy called Bob Armstrong, he's really respected guy in the UK. Amazing teacher, and I started lessons with him, and he kind of broke my playing down and built it back up again. And I think I learnt with him for 7 years, so it was amazing. Yeah, I was lucky enough to have some lessons when I was, again, around 13, 14 with a classical percussionist. So I learnt some tune percussion and some timpani, and because I used to play at school in some orchestras, classical orchestras, playing percussion. But I stopped doing that because I found it really stressful. It's like spend maybe 25 minutes counting bars, and then you have to hit a gong as loud as you can, and if you get that wrong, it's very embarrassing. So I've known Jamie for years because I used to have a band, a trio, and we used to have guest singers, and Jamie came and sang with us a few times, and then about 5 years after that he got in touch and asked if I wanted to come and have a play at his studio, and just went from there. When I first played with him, he was starting to get well known, yeah. Well, Jamie did that record with a producer called Ben Lambden, who has a band called Nostalgia 77, and Tim's part of the band, and the whole thing came as they come as an entity. So yeah, so he did it with that band. Yeah, I stay true to what was recorded in some ways, but it changes every gig as well, because that's the nature of the music. Everyone is putting a little bit of their own thing into it. Right, I almost don't remember that, but yeah, I do have. I have a scar here. A lot of drummers get it if you have a crash to the left of your hi-hat. You quite often will catch my finger on the hi-hats. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty clumsy, so I think I've had quite a few times where I've like hurt my hand. Yeah, I do need to work on my coordination. Yeah, I mean, Blue Man Group is unusual because there's no written music. There's just certain drumming patterns for certain sections of the show, and so it was useful, but I learned a lot about kind of learning to play a certain thing but change it slightly, imperceptibly almost, but a lot of the drumming in Blue Man is about supporting what's going on with the Blue Men, what's happening dramatically, and so it's unlike normal drumming in that sense, but learning how to kind of dictate the energy on stage with drumming was kind of a good challenge. The main challenge that drummers have with Blue Man drumming is that a lot of the show your feet are playing eighth notes all the time. So bass drum and hi-hat feet going like this, and then you're playing different patterns with your hands. So yeah, but the main thing to do to get that right is to not think about it, because if you're thinking about your feet playing that, they immediately go out of time. No, I think I practice stuff really slowly, and practice stuff slowly enough, then you can trust that you have the muscle memory and you can relax and not think about it. I don't know if I'll ever do a solo album, but I have a record that I'm making at the moment. It's me and my friend Chris Hill, and yeah, we're called Archbirds, and yeah, that will come out. That will come out soon. In fact, you can hear some of it on Bandcamp already, but yeah, at some point we'll put out a proper record.
So, thank you, Brad, very much for your time.
Pleasure.
And your patience. I had some trouble with my camera, that's why the video looks a little bit different at some points. Sorry for that. If you would like to see Brad perform on the drums, do so. Probably best with Jamie Cullum.
Yeah.
Well, if people want to see you with your duo or something, where do they go?
There will be new websites for me and Archbirds soon, so you'll be able to see the links for that soon.
Okay. I also will put lots of links below, so you can check out everything Brad likes and recommends. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.